we're certainly very, very excited to have you all here. This is going to be a great afternoon for, well, at least here in Miami. I'm sure we have a few people from the West Coast. Still afternoon, I guess. Um, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna have a lot of information to share. We have some inspiring slides to get you guys inspired about travel. And then we will have an opportunity to ask a lot of questions. It's gonna be a lot of fun. What I like about Azamara a lot is especially the itineraries. And so I know that you and Lionel have a couple of slides, very inspiring slides that are going to share with us today. Just amazing itineraries, very unique. Katie, I've been working on those packages. I'm telling you, that's some very
love it.
cool stuff. Very cool
love it.
stuff. For those that have joined us and don't know what we're talking about, we're going to be launching very, very soon. We're going to be launching a collection of cruise tour experiences that include some of the best itineraries with Azamara, and then a 7-day pre or post at the departure or arrival port. And they're going to be all-inclusive flights, tours, hotels, everything. It's going to be amazing.
And we are really excited that we're partnering with Luxury Cruise Connections. It's going to be great stuff.
Thank you. And I think we have somebody impersonating you, Katie. Look at that. We have somebody impersonating you here with a beard. This guy, I don't know.
My brother from another mother, Lionel.
I guess so. So Denise over here is helping us out as she's one of the moderators of the event. She actually has the ability to change your names. So there you go. That's it.
Hi.
How's it going, Lionel?
Good.
Awesome. Amazing. I like the beard.
Thank you. This is my little fight toward COVID, against COVID. And my family hates it, but I told them I'll get rid of it when COVID ends.
Really? So that's an expression of you being rebellious there against COVID?
Good. Yeah. I think it's really, I just want to probably annoy my wife and kids because they fight with me every day about it.
There you go. I actually do leave mine on purpose because my kids love for me to tickle them with it. So.
Oh, nice.
So anyway, so it's 2:58. We're going to allow for a few extra more minutes. We will start on time at 3, kind of officially get our event going, but we will allow till about 3:03 for a few extra minutes for people to finish chiming in tonight. We have a lot of people that are joining tonight, people that have previously joined us on other Zoom events that we have had, but some new names that I believe it's the first time you're joining us with the Zoom events, which is very cool. Many of the names that I'm seeing today are current and past guests of Luxury Cruise Connections. I do see some names that I know must have been in our database for some time, but that have not had an opportunity to work with us yet. So it's a great opportunity for you to get to know us, understand a little bit about Luxury Cruise Connections, what we do, and why we believe we're so special. And most importantly, to learn a lot more about the relationship that we have with Azamara Cruises, which is an incredible relationship. So for those that logged in early, are going to be the first ones to know that very, very soon we're going to be launching a series of a private collection of cruise tour itineraries partnered with Azamara. They're going to be incredible value, huge value, combining air, cruise, tour, land tour, just incredible experiences that are going to be very, uniquely curated exclusively for our clients. So we're going to be launching that very soon. Stay tuned. Hopefully within the next 2 weeks, we'll be able to send all of you guys this exclusive invitation to participate on those unique packages. But anyway, welcome again, officially welcome everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us today. This is officially the start of our Azamara Q&A Zoom call session together with Katie, Gerard, and Lionel Garcia. And it's going to be let's say, originally scheduled to be a 1-hour event. Normally, when there's a lot of questions and a lot going on, I wouldn't be surprised if we go a little bit beyond the hour. We are certainly not rushing, and if there are good questions and people still have some questions, we'll be happy to stay longer. Lionel and Katie might have to at one point jump off. So Katie and Lionel, if at whatever point we're kind of getting in the middle of another meeting that you might have previously had scheduled, please let us know, and that's absolutely fine. But we will certainly stay here and finish answering any other questions that might come up. It's going to be a very fun event. We have a very short, no more than 20-minute, and right, Lionel? Right,
right,
Katie? No
100%.
Right?
Right.
Set of slides that I've asked Lionel and Katie to share with us, because I think that one of the most important things for us to do in this event is to share with our audience not only about how to redeem future cruise credits or cancellation policies or suspensions and all that, but I think it's a great opportunity for us to get inspired about travel, to really talk about what Azamara and Luxury Cruise Connections can offer individually and together, of course. And with that, I think that what we're about to see from Katie and Lionel is, it's really going to help us get our travel juices going and start thinking about travel very soon, because travel is coming back, and it's coming very, very, very strong. Every day we're hearing better news. Every day we're hearing more promising news. We are getting a lot of positive signs from the cruise lines out there about 2021. Of course, 2020 is still a little bit up in the air. There's still some stuff that can happen in 2020, but we do expect 2021 to be the comeback year for travel, for cruises, and there are a lot of great promotions and offers to take advantage of to do that right now. So this is definitely not going to be a salesy event. We will share with you guys some of the best promotions out there, and of course we'll talk a little bit about the up to $500 shipboard credit offer that we're giving you all for attending today's event. We'll do that toward the end. And so without any further ado, I want to officially introduce, well, first of all, I do want to say, you see my background. Some of the people within my team have the same background, but some others couldn't get that done. So you will see that right after their name, it says Dash Luxury Cruise Connections. Same with Lionel and Katie. After their name, it says Azamara, so that you can recognize who is part of Luxury Cruise Connections, who is part of Azamara. What you can expect today is we're going to have a 20-minute short presentation from Katie and Lionel. We will then jump into Q&A session. I invite you all to please type your questions in the chat box in the Zoom call. If you have any questions you want to leave toward the end, we will open up mics toward the end so that you can participate actively and ask your questions live if you want. But if you just want to type them as we go, and then we will make sure we go to each one of those questions, make sure we read all of them. We have 62 participants so far. That's a great attendance. Thank you all for being here. You will see some quick polls come up throughout the presentation, throughout the event. We want to get to know who's here and what your feelings are about what we're talking about. And you will also be probably contacted via private message in the chat of this Zoom call by some of our Luxury Cruise Connections advisors, just in case you have some particular questions you might want to ask specifically about your specific case or anything like that. So you can also chat directly with one of our advisors. So with that, why don't you, Lionel and Katie, introduce yourself, tell us who you are, what you do, why you guys are so important for Azamara and for us, and take it away.
Katie, you go first.
All right. Good afternoon and good evening, good morning, wherever you're coming from. My name is Katie Gerhard. I am Director of Sales for Azamara. It is a pleasure to be with all of you today, and I really hope that you do enjoy our brief presentation followed by a great Q&A session. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the next hour or so.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and get my presentation queued up here for us to share.
Hold on. So hold on. So Katie, what do you do? Lionel, what do you do? Who are you?
Well, I was going to get to it here once I got this going, but I'm the strategic business development manager for Florida. I have about 19 years in the industry. All of those 19 years I've worked for the fantastic organization, the Royal Caribbean Group, which Azamara is a part of. And I get to represent the beautiful state of Florida and the Caribbean. And I've had the privilege and honor to work with Carlos and his team at Luxury Cruise Connection now for about 6 years. And this is really a tremendous opportunity to be able to present Azamara to all of you. So looking forward to sharing that with all of you. And Katie, you're my boss. I call you sometimes boss lady, but you have a more official title than that. So
I thank you, Lionel. Yes, and again, to what Lionel has said, just working so closely with such great partners is great. But I've been actually in the travel industry for 35 plus years, 20 of which have been dedicated to the cruise side of the world. So, you know, I started my career many moons ago selling travel as a travel agent and found my passion on the cruise side of the world. So basically, I'm responsible for all of the sales for Azamara for the eastern part of the United States, all the way west to Chicago and Eastern Canada. So I have a fantastic team of salespeople that report to me. And again, I am just so delighted today to be presenting to you along with Lionel. I live in Connecticut, so I'm coming to you live from the Northeast part of the United States. So it's fun to see people from all over on the call. So again, I really hope that you enjoy what we're going to present to you today.
all right, Katie, take it away.
All right, so I just want to start off by saying we have 3 beautiful ships, the Azamara Journey Pursuit and the, oh my God.
Wow.
Thank you. No, my mind just went somewhere else because I saw this and my heart sank. Our ships currently are all very safe and sound. As you can see, they're all together in the beautiful city of Glasgow over in Scotland. So they're being well looked after while we're not cruising. And I just wanted to show this to you just so that we could start off by looking at our 3 beautiful ships. I think something that's really important and on everybody's mind is what's going on in the cruise industry and how can I protect myself. One of the things that we have in place is what we're calling Cruise with Confidence. And basically, this is giving you more flexibility with your bookings all the way up to 48 hours before you set sail. So if you're just like unsure of what's going on or you want to take your time, it's okay because we're offering you our best price offer guarantee. Also, we're offering future cruise credits. And again, we have this great program of lift and shifting your 2020 bookings into 21. Lionel's going to talk about this a little bit further as we go through it. But I think one of the most important things that I think is really on everybody's mind is what is it going to look like when we get back to cruising? So what I'd like to do is just introduce you to our Healthy Sail experts. This is a team of experts that is being led by former Governor Michael Leavitt and Dr. Scott Gottlieb. And you can see they have 9 amazing people from all different sectors, from the public sector, medical sector, educational, and they're working together to really dissect how are we going to come back to cruising in a healthy way. The good news is that this panel has been working for the past 6 weeks diligently, and we're just about ready to kind of formalize this plan and then introduce it to everyone. So I would say within the next month, you could really look forward to seeing our Healthy Sail, what our protocols are going to be. What I'd like to talk to you about now is why Azamara and what some of our differentiators are. The beauty about Azamara is that we truly are the destination cruise line. We created Destination Immersion. And what we're good and what we do and what makes us so special is that we connect people to people all around the world globally. And when you're connecting people to people, you're also connecting people with cultures. And when you do that, you're causing people to take a closer look at themselves and bring on a whole new perspective. And when we do this, it's because we spend more time in Point. We have majority of land programs. Carlos was referencing earlier that you're going to see a whole new section of these fabulous packages coming your way. We also do longer stays in ports with more overnight. Sometimes it's multiple day in a port. And by this, it gives you more time to see it. We do country intensive voyages, which we're going to get into a little bit more into this presentation. And again, we are an inclusive cruise line. So these are all of the things. And right here, if you look at this, you know, we want to take you beyond the sea. We want to take you into the destination so that you can have more time to experience where we are in the world. We have the best immersive itineraries. Worldwide destinations, we go to 7 continents. We have, the beauty of Azamara is that we have smaller ships, which enables us to get into smaller ports. So this is bringing you closer to city centers. Again, our docking in some of our destinations are just spectacular. We talked about longer nights and more overnights and late nights in ports. And that also gives you the opportunity to explore these destinations in the evening. You could watch a place turn from day to night. Again, we have some specialty voyages, which Lionel is going to bring to your attention a little bit longer. And when we say beyond the sea, it again, we have more opportunity for pre and post opportunities so that you can, again, get more immersed into the destination. We have our complimentary Azamazing evenings. And if we have any Azamara fans on this call right now, you know exactly what I'm talking about. These are cultural events that are complimentary to all of our guests. We do them around the world, and these are really orchestrated exclusively for Azamara. Our guests absolutely love them. I could actually talk to you for at least an hour on our Azamazing evenings, but I know time is ticking, so I'm going to go on. Also, what we do is, again, our overnight experiences. And all of this is brought to you by Azamara on our gorgeous boutique hotels at sea. And again, we have inclusive amenities. We have all the contemporary new designs. Our crew is beyond. They are friendly, attentive, without being overly fawning. And again, we're all about destination immersion. So this is something that what I'd like to do is just kind of talk about our competitive set in a way. And a lot of you on this phone call are to this webinar right now, you're cruisers. So when we look at this, this is really where I say, this is where I put my money where my mouth is. When we look at the comparison of Crystal, Seabourn, Silver Sea, Regent, Oceania, and Viking, with the percentage of port days, percentage of overnight and late nights, and based on 2019, you can see that Azamara really does win in this arena. So when we talk about destination immersion with the time in port, we really are specific. And if you think about 77% of our voyage time is spent in ports, that's pretty impressive, along with 54% being either late night or overnight. So again, this is something that I think is the most important thing. Going ahead now, we talked about country intensive voyages, and Lionel, are you going to pick it up from here, or am I going to continue on?
There you go.
There you go. Thanks, Katie. Yeah, I'll pick it up from here. You know, it's funny. One of the ways I like to describe Azamara is that we are a land vacation company that uses floating hotels. And the reason why I feel so confident in saying something like that is because so much of the time is dedicated to the destination. And one of the ways that we do this best is with the introduction of our program called Country Intensive Voyages. And what I wanted to do today was share with you some of the many examples of country intensive voyages. Typically, on a cruise vacation, you're going to stop and visit multiple countries along your itinerary. But with Azamara's country intensive itineraries, you can spend all those stops in one destination. So for example, if you would have approached one of your agents, your advisors at Luxury Cruise Connection, said, I want to go to Japan, or I want to go to Israel, or I want to go to Spain, guess what? They now can offer you a cruise vacation to visit that country and not just have to do it on a land vacation. And why is a cruise vacation more convenient than a land vacation? Well, why else? You get to unpack and pack just one time. So here are some examples. Here's a Spanish intensive. It's an 11-night program with, well, how Katie mentioned, 8 total late nights and overnights. And the most beautiful part about this one is that we spent 3 nights in Sevilla. Then we have Norway intensive. This, if you want to see Norway, what better way to see Norway than to dedicate 17 nights and see what you can argue would be most of Norway during that time frame. This one is one that's totally on my list. I can't wait to do this. This is an Ireland intensive. And Katie, I know you're from Ireland, and we've talked about this. I really want to do this trip. But this one here is perfect. 12 nights, and you circumnavigate the country of Ireland, and you get to see this. Yes, you could do this by land, but you're going to be spending so much time packing and unpacking, in and out of hotels, on a motor coach from here to there. And now you could spend that time in the destination, enjoying the sights and sounds and the pubs of Ireland. Then, and normally, actually, Carlos, we normally have done this at night and everyone's drinking wine or something. And this is a little early, so I'll look at the pictures here soon. I'm sure there'll be some of them already drinking, because it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right?
You'd be amazed how many people are probably with a glass of wine right now.
Exactly. Yeah. Why not? And then we have a Greece intensive, and this destination, this country, is almost on everyone's bucket list. And even if they've done it before, it still happens to land on their bucket list because it is one magical country. And with Greece, we have about 7 different Greek intensives. This one here happens to have 5 late nights, but we have others to have an overnight in Mykonos, a late night in Santorini, so you can watch the sunset into the caldera. But we visit some of the smaller, lesser known ports as well, like Milos and Paros and Thessaloniki. And then we have an Israel intensive. This one spends 5 nights in Israel, 3 nights in Ashdod, 2 nights in Haifa. And maybe you want to go to Israel, but guess what? You don't have to spend the nights on the ship. You can disembark the vessel on night 1 in Ashdod and not board the vessel back until night 5 or to day 5 in Haifa. And then make sure you arrive at least half an hour before the ship departs on its way back to Athens, so you don't miss your connection flight back home. But this is a fantastic way for you to get to experience Israel. And if you like this whole country intensive concept, have you thought about maybe a continent intensive? I know some of us are out there, we're counting continents, but what better way to see the continent than to truly see the entire continent? This voyage is a 69-night voyage departing in 2022, and it's going to depart from Miami, return back to Miami. And so you can see, we can debate here if this covers the whole continent or not. You could extend your trip by spending some time in Lima and extending your trip to do Machu Picchu. You could extend your trip in Buenos Aires and also do Iguazu Falls and then meet the ship back up. This trip is all encompassing. And now I know you're wondering, how much does this trip cost? More important question is, do you have the time? Because if you have the money but not the time, you're not going on this trip. But if you have the time and not the money, you might be able to find the money for this trip. So if you want to know how much this trip costs, feel free to contact anybody at Luxury Cruise Connection. They'll share with you what it would take to get you on this voyage. It's 4 back-to-back voyages that begin and end in Miami and show you all of South America. So Azamara today, with our 3 vessels, we cover the globe, 365 ports, 7 continents, 81 countries. Sadly, the ships are currently docked in Glasgow right now, but as soon as we can get out to cruise, the world is at your fingertips with Azamara. Our 3 identical vessels each carry 700 guests, 408 crew members to serve your needs, and they're the same. There's one difference, however. There's one vessel, the Azamara Journey, that still has a casino. The other 2 vessels don't have a casino, and you're probably wondering, why do you not have a casino? Well, as Katie mentioned at the beginning, 80% of the time spent on a voyage with Azamara is spent in port. And if you've cruised before, you know that if you're docked in port, those casinos are not open. So on Azamara, we include so much in our price. We don't call ourselves all-inclusive, we call ourselves more inclusive, because there's three things that we don't include. We don't include airfare in our pricing, we don't include shore excursions in our pricing, and we do not include internet today in our pricing. But your drinks, your tips, your gratuities, your self-service laundry, and there's even this benefit here that many people don't really talk about, but once you cruise with Azamara, you experience it and you're like, oh, this was awesome. If we don't dock in the center of town, we'll take you to the center of town with an included shuttle, no additional charge. So wherever we dock, if we're not in the center of town, we're gonna take you from the ship to the center of town included while we're in port. We have 408 crew members to serve your needs while you're on board. Many of them, 90% of them have been with us since we started 13 years ago. And they're the reasons why so many of you have returned back to us today. We have a 70% repeat factor. So I'm confident if you haven't cruised with us before, we may just be your next favorite vacation option. So some of the changes that we made, I already alluded to this, where we removed the casino. We've removed the casino now from the Quest. And the Pursuit also have this venue. It's called the Den. It's on deck 5, midship. And this has now become the central focus and hangout place on board the Azamara Quest and Pursuit. I wanted to share with you some of the images of the rooms or your home away from home when you decide to take that next vacation with us. And this is here is an example of my favorite suite. It's our Club Spa Suite. The reason why I love this room is that it has that glass enclosed hot tub that sits out back there in the veranda. This is our Club Continent Suite, and then this is our standard accommodation. This is our veranda. It's 175 square feet inside with an additional 40 square feet outside. Well, I know we talked about what's in it for you, why you're here with us, and we have just launched September 1st. Yesterday, we launched our most popular promotion. And if you've cruised with us before, you've probably heard of this promotion. It's our double upgrade, where you get to pay for an interior stateroom and travel in a veranda stateroom. Veranda's a balcony. Or you could pay for an ocean view stateroom and travel in one of our Veranda Plus. Or pay for a veranda and travel in one of our Club Continent accommodations. And you, for this time, we've never done this before, we're offering 2 times loyalty points for those of you who have been loyal with us. And if you haven't sailed with us, it's okay, because after your first cruise, you're automatically enrolled into our loyalty program, and you too will receive double points for that first cruise. So this promotion is good until the end of September 18th for the double points. And Katie, I'm sorry, you want to add anything to this? I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I just want to make sure. No, this is great. This is great. But I just really want to make sure that you understand that the important thing for anybody on the phone, and I know Lionel's going to allude to it, but the double loyalty points, this is something new that we have never offered before with the promotion. So not only are you getting the double upgrade, but you're getting the double loyalty points. And I really do think that this is something that's very unique in the marketplace. And again, it's the first time that Azamara is offering it. So if any of you on the phone are our loyalty guests, this is an offer that you should talk about. And this is the slide that I'm referring to with the reciprocal benefits between all of the brands in Royal Caribbean. So it's Royal Caribbean, it is Celebrity, and then of course it's Azamara. So the reciprocal benefits across the 3 brands based on the level where you are with either the Crown and Anchor, the Captain's Club, or the Azamara Circle. So again, this is something that I just really wanted to point out. And Lionel, I'm going to turn it back to you so that you can just talk about this again, because this is a really important piece of this, because this is the piece that's giving you comfort and peace of mind. So Lionel, take it away.
Sure, thank you.
Lionel,
so,
I'm sorry. Before you get to this real quick, I just want to chime in 2 seconds on this. We do this all the time in terms of quoting our clients and sharing pricing with our clients. We know, I just want to say from our perspective, the promotion that Lionel and Katie are talking about right now, which is a double upgrade, offers literally thousands of dollars of savings for those that are going either in a suite or a veranda. Like, no joke, no shenanigans. It's literally huge, thousands of dollars of discounts that otherwise they wouldn't be there. So just wanted to point that out.
You are spot on, Carlos. You are spot on.
So I wanted to just cover this again because there is so much uncertainty still today. Many of you have so many doubts about things, and some of these doubts we hope to settle today on the call with all of you. But you have questions about like, well, you know, aren't the cruise lines going to lower their prices prior to my cruise? So I'm just going to wait closer to that date. Or I want to wait till the healthy panel comes out with their protocols and Royal Caribbean Group comes out with their protocols on what's cruising going to be like. Or I don't know if the country I want to visit is going to open up to Americans in time for my cruise. How do I do that? So there's so much hemming and hawing. So I want to just reiterate this program. This, if you make a purchase, a deposit prior to September 30th, you will be locked into a program that we call Cruise with Confidence. It's going to give you the ability to make adjustments to your voyage up to 48 hours prior to the cruise. That's 2 days before the trip leaves. You can do one of three things. You can adjust your price downward to the lowest available fare. So that's if the prices have gone down, no fear, don't fret, you'll get to save that money. If you don't want to go on that cruise anymore, you want to change your mind for whatever reason, you woke up in the morning 48 hours before the cruise departs and your hair's in the wrong place and now you don't want to go, guess what? You can cancel and receive 100% of the funds paid toward a future cruise down the line. And the last option, I think this is the best one, you can actually take what you've paid this year on the cruise that you've paid for this year and all the promotions that you've received for this year's cruise and apply it to the same cruise next year and not pay anything more than what you've paid this year and keep all the same benefits and features and all the great things that LCC and Azamara have given you and apply it to the voyage the following year. So this is something that's in place for you that you get to take advantage of if you secure a deposit prior to the 30th of September. And then lastly, we've been able to put together a special program just for the members of Luxury Cruise Connection and their customers and their family and friends. We wanted to make sure to make this valuable to you. We're going to extend a $300 onboard credit for an ocean view, a $400 onboard credit for a veranda, and a $500 onboard credit for a suite. So to make it a little bit easier, I know many of you are looking at this double upgrade promotion. So if you pay the inside price and travel in a veranda, that means you're going to receive $400 onboard credit. So with that, I say thank you, and I finished at 20 minutes. I have 5 seconds left, Carlos, according to my timer. And I'm open to, Katie and I are ready for your questions.
Sorry, the only thing that you missed there on that previous slide is that the up to $500 shipboard credit offer that you guys are very nicely extending to our guests for attending today's event. It has a booking window of 2 weeks. So
2 weeks.
We do have to make sure that we make, anybody that is interested or has anything in their mind, that we take advantage of this within 2 weeks, because this does expire. It's not going to be there forever. So, but thank you so much, Lionel. Thank you very much for that very inspiring presentation.
You're welcome.
I always get inspired when I see those itinerary maps of Azamara. It's amazing how you literally cover those countries or those continents and visit so many different ports that otherwise you wouldn't even think about visiting, and they're like so off the beaten path in so many cases. They're incredible. They're really, really incredible, and that's very unique, and that's really what makes Azamara so different. What I like to say to my guests is, if you're looking for that cruise experience that doesn't necessarily feel like a typical cruise, where you're jumping from one place to another so quickly that you don't get to experience the destination, then Azamara is what you want, because you can really get to experience those destinations and really take your time. You're not rushed to get back on the ship so quickly. You actually can have an opportunity to watch the sunset in Santorini. So, to me, that's what makes Azamara so unique. That makes everything worth it, right? Those itineraries and experiences you just won't find. And to echo what Katie was saying, every guest that has had an opportunity to experience one of those as amazing evenings just raves about it, because it's one of those unique experiences that you will otherwise never have an opportunity to experience. And then in terms of the relationship that we have, I wanna kick this off real quick. and just, can you share a little bit about our relationship? How, because some of you have heard me say this before in other events, and those that have had an opportunity to deal with us in the past probably know already what I'm talking about. But this relationship that we have with Azamara, not only is it great because of the business that we do together, but also because we're both part of the same consortia called Virtuoso. And because of that Virtuoso relationship, we're able to leverage even more special perks, amenities, and advantages to our clients that otherwise they wouldn't be available if you were to book directly with Azamara, for example, right? Can you echo on that, Katie?
Oh, that's correct. So for example, because of the partnership with Virtuoso, for us to be affiliated with Virtuoso and be able to be connected with partners like you, Carlos, we have to be able to extend things for those member agencies. And one of the benefits that we've created is we've created programs like a Virtuoso hosted program. On those voyages, your guests will get to travel with a Virtuoso host. We'll be able to attend a private cocktail party for all of those who are attending that particular Virtuoso, we're all booked with Virtuoso member agencies. And they also get invited to a free private shore excursion. So this is you typically about a value of around $300 per guest. So this is a very unique and exclusive opportunity. There's also another program like our Virtuoso amenity program, and this one extends a $250 onboard credit just because you booked with Luxury Cruise Connection. And so that's just the benefits to you, but the other benefits are, you know, let's just call it what it is. Carlos and Denise and the team at LCC has Katie on speed dial, has me on speed dial. So anything goes wrong, anything is not right, you have questions, comments, concerns, you're not just calling a team that doesn't know anyone at Azamara, you're calling a team that has the ear and the eyes and the numbers to the people that matter at Azamara.
And we're on the phone basically every week, and not because there's problems, but more because we, you know, the other thing that we have in common is we like to make sure our clients are happy. And we're all about personalized service. We're all about customization. We're all about the details, and that relationship and that connection that we have allows us to really, you know, do magic for our clients. Really, just take the experience of booking and travel to just a completely different level, right? And you know, the reality is that it is because of that, is because of the fact that we believe in the same principles of making our clients' travel experiences just out of this world amazing, is why we do such great business and why we get along so well, right? And that's why we love putting our clients in Azamara, because we know they're going to come back and be happy and refer more clients, and that's more business for us as well. And that's just,
and we love it too. We love it too, because, you know, Luxury Cruise Connections, you guys are just such great partners and friends of ours. And the thing that's really important to understand is, you know, all of you on the phone today, you know, you're going to book with Luxury Cruise Connections. They're going to take good care of you on through the entire process. But once you come to the ship and you step your foot on that gangway, from that moment on, you become our guests in your home. We make you feel at home. So it's the entire process, from the, you know, exploration of where do you want to go in the world, to making your travel bookings. You know, you're taken well care of. Then you come to us, and then we execute the program, and our crew is there to just make sure that each and every person is treated like their home. And we're family. We're one big happy family. And that's one of the things I love about our connection. It's really important.
And we have a couple of questions that we can get started with in our chat. We're gonna go one by one. We're gonna go through all of them. Martha is asking us what's the cost of internet.
So I actually shared the link to Martha to our page. We have the cost of our internet is $19.95 per day, and that's for the use of unlimited internet for one device. However, we have different packages as well that include internet and other things. So that's something that you may want to consider. And then if you're a past guest of ours, you also already get free minutes. You can redeem those free minutes to help reduce the cost of your package. So it just depends on, every case is different, but if you've never cruised with us before and it's your first cruise and you just wanted to buy internet, it's $19.95 per day for unlimited use.
And then that's when we look for some of those onboard credit offers that we can use to pay for that, right? And
of course,
we always here at Luxury Cruise Connections, we'll always add a little bit of extra amenities as well for our clients, and sometimes they're used toward that. So that's important. That's a good question, Martha. Thank you for asking that. And then Deborah is asking, the double upgrade is good until September 18th. It's good until September 18th or the 30th? The 18th, right?
So we actually have two promotions technically under the same one. The double upgrade promotion is good actually till November 18th, but the double loyalty is good till September 18th.
Right.
So if you want to take advantage of the double loyalty points, you have to make a deposit prior to September 18th. In this case, I would suggest prior to September 16th so that you can take advantage of the up to 500 that's being funded by Azamara and Luxury Cruise Connection.
Right.
But the 2 times loyalty ends on the 18th, and double up ends on the 18th of November.
Of November. Okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Great.
So there's a lot. I mean, what Lionel just said, I mean, this is just it's the perfect opportunity because the deals are out there for the next 14 days.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And then Joan asks, does a reservation need to be made to Luxury Cruise Connections? Let me take that. Again, for the $500 shipboard credit offer for attending this event, yes. For additional virtual amenities, yes. The double up promotion and the double points, those are brand promotions that are out there for everybody. But if you want to take advantage of not only the $500 and the additional amenities, but also the great customer service that we'll provide you with, and yes, it's Luxury Cruise Connections. And can we book with our travel agent and still use this promotion? Andrea, hopefully your travel agent is us, but if it isn't, so yes. So for the extra $500, it has to be through us. I do invite you. I'm not sure if we are your travel agent, but if we're not, we definitely invite you to try us out, because I promise you won't be disappointed. In fact, you will be glad that you did, because we will impress you with amazing service.
Okay, I'm already booked. Are any of those extra doing available if you've already booked?
That's a good question, Joan. So normally, if you're already booked, we can look into your reservation specifically, and Azamara does have a best price guarantee policy in place, which means that we should be able to adjust your reservation to take advantage of the best promotion right now. And then in terms of the $500, we'd have to see if it applies based on whatever you have, because we know it applies for whatever, combinable with whatever we have today. You have to see based on your reservation to see if that's the case. Joan, did you make your reservation with Luxury Cruise Connections?
Yes, I did with Roger Poe.
Fantastic. You're in amazing hands, by the way. Roger does an incredible job. Get with Roger, Joan, please. In fact, we will ask him to get with you so that we can look into that for you and make sure you can take advantage of the most advantage of this, okay?
Okay.
Excellent. And thank you for your loyalty to Luxury Cruise Connections, Roger.
And of course, I'm hoping that next October the cruise is going to go.
I'm with you. Yes.
We're all right there with you, darling.
We want
You
that
know what?
too.
I mean, if we were going now, I could be packed in an hour, just ready to get out of Dodge.
You and me both.
But
I would love to just meet the ship in Glasgow now and just go hang out there. Why not? We got some fantastic crew members.
I'm leaving out of Venice. Is Venice going to be there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. We will be sending those wishful thoughts just along with you. We really want to get cruising as soon as possible. So
hoping that that's the case. But I'm hearing a lot of positive stuff out there. I mean, we don't know exactly what that date is going to be, but we certainly look forward for it being soon, and hopefully this year. So, okay, great. And Patricia Duffy, what Veranda Plus for Norway Intensive and of July 2021? Oh, I want a Veranda Plus. Okay. Also, it has to be close to aft, not near front stairs. Can you accommodate? Patricia, the answer is I'm sure we can. Who is going to be contacting Patricia? I'm going to get back to you in that in a second. but we should be able to take care of you with that. Thank you for asking that question. JC is going to be reaching out to you. Cindy, any future U.S. itineraries? What do we know about the U.S.? What do we
So
know?
I'll take that one. So pretty much we won't be doing itineraries in the United States. We are possibly going to be doing some voyages in late 21 into 22 for the Caribbean. But United States, for instance, like Alaska, those are not on our radar. If anything, it would be a departure point from the United States down. They are not, it's not that we have officially said we're doing that, but it is part of our contract that we might possibly be announcing some of those itineraries for late 21 into 20. So stay tuned.
Excellent, excellent. And
I have a question.
John is asking, does Azamara, let me just get to this one, then we'll go with you, Steve.
Okay.
Does Azamara or LCC help with air travel arrangements? John, the answer is yes and yes. Luxury Cruise Connections is a part of a large organization called Forest Travel, which has incredible air contracts, some amazing discounts when it comes to air. And so we always have an opportunity to compare with Azamara Air, which is also very, very strong, and Luxury Cruise Connections Air. We take advantage of whatever's best for our client, whatever makes more sense, whatever is less expensive, and provides the most amount of savings. So yes, John, we can absolutely, through your Luxury Cruise Connections advisor, take care of those air arrangements, either with our contracts or Azamara contract. Steve, you have a question?
Yeah, I have a guest who unfortunately couldn't make it today. Hi, Katie, and
Hello.
hi, Lionel. Katie, by the way, the 4 bottles on your mantle there, are we opening them up after? I see 4 bottles there.
You know what? They are all empty. I am so sorry, but they were full once upon a time, but they are empty bottles.
I
right
hope
now.
you enjoyed them.
I enjoyed every last drop of my Book-Clicquot. Yes, I did.
Okay. The question that one of my guests has for 2022 is Azamara planning, and I know you have in the past, any cruises to the to the Amazon River?
So our 22 deployment has not been released yet. I take that back. Our 22 deployment has been released up
It's
through
in the
April
spring,
30th.
right?
We are going to be releasing the remainder of 22 into 23. Hopefully sometime by the end of September, you'll see some great exciting announcements from us. And then you'll be able to see exactly what the rest of the itineraries will look like going into 22 and 23.
Okay, so that's in September, Katie?
Yes. Yeah. We're like in a couple of weeks.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you.
Fingers crossed.
Here's another bottle.
Bring them on. Bring them on.
Amazing. Okay, great, great. So we have a lot of you guys have sent your questions directly, privately to some of our advisors. I want to allow for an opportunity to open up mics, and then you guys can ask questions directly to Katie, directly to Lionel, or to me. And while we do this, and while you guys get your questions ready to go, I want to ask Lionel and Katie real quick, because I know everybody's thinking about this. So a lot of our guests have future cruise credits. A lot of our guests are holding either 100% or 125% future cruise credits. Until when can they redeem them? What's the maximum, the farthest date that they can use them for?
Katie, you want to take it?
Oh, sure. Sorry. So FCCs, what we call them, the future cruise credits, you have to have your decision made by December 31st of this year. And it is good through, you can book through April of 2022. So we're giving you plenty of time. But again, the books aren't open yet, but they will be open hopefully by the end of the month. So right now it's till the end, it's till April 30th of 21 but that will be probably extended when we open up our 22 deployment. And the thing that's important to remember about your future cruise credits is that, you know, with our Cruise with Confidence, it's really okay for you to make your reservations because you can cancel up to 48 hours. I mean, every step of the way, we're giving you the option, we're giving you the protection to protect your investment of travel. You know, and by booking it, it also gives you something to look forward to, which I think in this environment, like we're all saying, we're all ready to go. Like, so it's a good thing. So future cruise credits are good and ready to be taken.
Okay, and that's great. And then some other people ask, okay, so let's say I am booked on a cruise, and then what happens if it has to get suspended because of, you know, just whatever reason? I just want to say regarding that, what we've seen so far is we've seen Azamara really do their best to make sure their clients are well taken care of. So I want to just bring this back real quick. A lot of our clients have taken advantage of the lift and shift, right? Which is, let's say you're on deposit, you don't want to make your final payment, and you just want to shift it to next year's kind of same itinerary next year. Easy lift and shift, and take advantage of whatever savings would mean not having to pay the increase in price for the next year's itinerary. That's one. Number two, if you have made your final payment, and then if unfortunately your cruise has to get canceled, let's say, Joan, hopefully yours is not going to be the case, but let's say if it happens to be the case, then you will have an opportunity to take advantage of 125 future cruise credit, and then use that to book, to rebook and get yourself rebooked for a future date, or just get a full refund. But hopefully you'll realize what a great incentive it is to take advantage of that extra 25%. And I always like to bring that up because it just makes all the sense in the world, right? And in terms of feeling safe about leaving your money with Azamara, remember that they're part of Royal Caribbean Group, which is, if not first, their largest cruise organization in the world, with so much funding that's not even funny. So we're good there. And here's a question from John, specifically regarding reducing passenger capacity because of the virus. What information do we have about that, about reducing passenger capacity because of the virus?
So at this point in time, we don't have any of our specific protocols in place. This is part of what I talked about at the early part of the presentation with our Healthy Sail panel. All of our protocols will be announced once we come out with those protocols. At that point, we'll know exactly what it's going to mean for us as far as what the capacity is going to be, how we're going to be getting people on and off the ship. Everything pertaining to getting on an Azamara voyage will be out then. You know, the good thing that we have going for us is the size of our ships. We're already in that sweet spot of cruising. We're not a big ship. We're not a super small ship. We're right there in the sweet spot with 700 passengers today, in today's environment. So we're really going to see how that will change. We're hoping that it's not going to affect us terribly, just because of the layout of the ship is already kind of conducive to that. But again, we really have no information until we actually have the protocols announced in place.
Katie, in regard to all of that, are there going to be, like last year, whenever, doctor's notes, because I'm old, are we going to be
Again, in the beginning, when cruises were sailing, they had talked about if you were over 70, you needed a doctor's note. Again, all of that is going to be part of our protocol going forward. And that is going to be, again, hopefully sometime this month that you'll see the protocols come out. So all of that will be, so the thing is, if you're going to be cruising in October of 21, you're going to have plenty of time to figure out exactly if there's things that you need to do on your end, what the protocols are. So there'll be plenty of time for everybody to work together to ensure the safety, because that's the number one thing. You have to remember through all of this, the number one thing is the safety of our passengers, our crew, and our ship. So we want to make sure that everybody is, all aligned, and that's one of the reasons why we're being very methodical about this, and we're taking our time with announcing our protocols.
Okay, great. And how about fancy masks with the name of Azamara on them?
I wanna jump in on that, and the reason why I want to do this is because Lionel and Katie, they're bound by this confidentiality clause about what they can do and what they can say and cannot say. But I can tell you some stuff because I'm not bound. I don't have a problem with that. and then Katie can go like no or yes if I'm.
Or I do this.
Just exactly. Just do that. I think it's going to be as simple as this, Joan. Think about it from this perspective. I think that right next to safety, the second biggest priority for Azamara is going to be that the clients and the guests have an amazing experience and the most similar experience to pre-COVID that you can imagine, right? And so I guess one of the biggest reasons why cruises are not sailing right now, yes, obviously we want to make sure that there are no cases on board the ship, but most importantly, they want to make sure that they can go to the ports and they can make sure that the experience on board is the right one. And so they will not sail until the experience can be the right one. And then what you can expect in terms of what's going to happen on board the ship is going to be very similar to what you would expect in land. So like if right now you have to wear a mask to go to a restaurant, then most likely you're going to have to wear a mask in public spaces in the ship. That's what's most likely going to happen. I don't imagine the CDC allowing the cruise lines for different rules or different regulations than whatever you can find on land. And that's, I think, one thing. And then number two is in terms of spacing and how many people can be on board the ship, they're going to have very similar regulations of what you can find with hotels. So like at the time of cruising, let's say you're cruising in January, right? If by January, you normally see that hotels have a regulation of no more than 50% occupancy, most likely that's what we're going to see on board ships. On the most general way that I can say that, right? Then it's going to have to do a lot with space to guest ratio, and then we will look at how much space to guest ratio we have on Azamara, and then they're going to make an assessment based on that. So what you're going to see is you're going to see ships like Royal Caribbean or Celebrity having to cut more of the percentage of people, while you're going to see ships like Azamara or Silver Sea having to do a little bit less of that because they already have a pretty good a space to guest ratio. Does that make sense?
I'll take a mask with sequins on it, please.
Sounds good. Can I share something good that's come out of the COVID stuff? Because there's a lot of anxiety as we wait for what may be perceived as bad news as far as what the return to sail is going to look like and what we have to do or can't do or what doctor's notes we're going to need. So I wanted to share with you something that has recently been announced that maybe you know of, maybe you don't know. It's called Muster 2.0. So if you know what this is, great. It's just going to be a little recap for you, but I don't think many of you will know about this. But the Royal Caribbean Group has found a way to make mustering better. And so constantly, Royal Caribbean, it's all about innovation. And so they've come up with a way so that you don't have to break the fun, if you will. When you board the ship, you get around, you drop off your luggage, you grab lunch. By the time you sit down and have your first, or maybe if you're like me and Katie, your second drink, now it's time to hurry up, get to your room, grab your life jacket, return, go to the muster station, and basically an hour of your vacation is interrupted as you congregate with hundreds of your best friends that you've never met before at a muster station, and then hear the captain do his presentation and watch this really phony video, and then now you could get back to your fun. Well, guess what? The Muster 2.0 program is going to be so much better. You get to it's your job to watch a video either on your phone or on your TV in your stateroom. And then at some point prior to disembarkation, you get to report to your muster station and check in. You're going to use your app or you're going to use a piece of paper, whatever the form that's most comfortable for you. And you're going to check into your muster station, ask the muster station leader if you have any questions on how to don your life jacket or whatever it is you want to know. That way, and guess what? The best part, you could do this with the drink in your hand if you want to, or with the group, your pod. That's going to be a new terminology, you guys. Pod. That's the people you're traveling with or the people you're with. So you're going to be with your pod, and you could go and check into your muster station and then continue having fun, and at no point interrupt the fantastic vacation that you already started. So this is being how it was tried already on Symphony back in January, Symphony of the Seas on Royal Caribbean International back in January, and is currently been rolled out on TUI, which is the German brand that Royal Caribbean Group owns, and Hapag-Lloyd, which is an expedition brand that Royal Caribbean Group owns. So I think that might excite you, because some of the biggest one of the biggest complaints of cruisers is the muster station or the muster drill, and how do you get out of it? So this is going to be fantastic, because now you're going to have fun. It's not going to break from that.
All right, I have another question. Forgetting mustering, we're on board, we're having our drinks, we're having dinner, yada, yada, yada. Shore excursions, how about the shore excursion personnel, people, and, you know, how can you guarantee that all of that is going to be as well cared for as being on board ship?
And again, that's going to be part of our protocols coming out. We're going to take the whole experience and break it down for you step by step, like, you know, your embarkation, what the cruise is going to look like, your shore excursion, so on and so forth. So that's going to be all part of this protocol package that we're going to be bringing out.
And Joan, you're not going to have to wait very long. We're talking about by the end of September,
yes,
these announcements are going to come out. So you'll know it all, and we'll have plenty of time to dissect it and ask all kinds of questions and how it's going to be. But if it's anything like how Royal Caribbean operates their ships and how Royal Caribbean manages their brands, this is going to be a fantastic process and procedure to bring the best safety and health protection for all of our guests and our crew. That's what we want. We don't want to be on TV with a ship overnighting somewhere because it has to be quarantined. That's the last thing we want. So
health and safety first.
Yeah.
I'm really not worried, because you've got a year to make it perfect.
There you go.
There you go.
And there's great advancements when it comes to testing, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of testing involved. Great, really good news to come very, very soon. You'll see.
Promise.
I know that Katie did have another appointment, and she has to jump off in the next couple of minutes. I have one more question for Katie before you go.
All right, bring it on.
We're going to stay on, not rushing anybody. So if you have any more questions, I think Lionel can stay a little bit longer, and we can certainly stay longer. So
yeah,
be good. Katie, one quick question from one of our loyal repeat guests, Stanislav. When you ask for champagne, when will you have champagne as part of the beverage package? And they only have sparkling wine, and Celebrity does have champagne.
Correct. We do. We have complimentary sparkling wine, and it's usually Prosecco. I have on a Spanish voyage had champagne included in the beverage package because it was some Spanish champagne that was brought on the ship. But for each and every day, sparkling wine is part of our package, which we just added because we had a lot of people asking for bubbly. Everybody likes their bubbly. So it is included in a day-to-day package. So again, I wish it was like the real good champagne, but of course we do have beverage packages. So we do make we have some really good beverage packages, by the way, for discounts and packages for upgrading your liquor choices, and also for champagnes and wines and things like that. But it is just Prosecco.
I'll love to add our top shelf beverage package with tip
it's fabulous.
And tax included is $22 a day.
Right. So if you want that top shelf all the time, go for it. But our wells are what's included in our packages. Our wines and everything are quite good, and standard beer, wine, and spirits.
Okay.
So with that, Carlos and everyone, thank you so much. It was so great to see all of you. And I know I'm leaving you in great hands with Lionel. He'll be able to further the conversations with you and answer all of your questions. But again, best of luck to all of you and good health. And gosh, I hope to see you on board an Azamara ship soon. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Katie.
Bye, Katie.
Question?
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Joe, how are you, Joe?
Good. I have a concern here. You've got your protocols and your complete 2022 cruise package coming out at the end of September, and yet you've got the deadline for the bonus stuff in the middle of September. It would be nice, so that we could have that information before the bonus date.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense, Joe. And I actually felt a little bit, I kind of had a reason for pause for that as well, just because of that reason. But what makes me feel good about doing this as we're doing it is that our Cruise with Confidence program is strong. If you choose to cancel, you get 100% back of what you invested in a future cruise credit. If you, for example, actually with Azamara at this point, let's say you do move forward and make a deposit. The only thing that is at risk, first off, a deposit is $550 per guest, $1,100 per guest for a suite. The only thing that would be at risk is $75 per person. It will be at risk if you were to cancel prior to final payment. Final payment is 120 days before the cruise. So if you're planning something for next year, especially let's say next summer, you'll have plenty of time to have the announcements and know what it is to make an adjustment. And if you and what we're doing with that $75 is that we're issuing it in the form of an FCC. But I'll tell you this, I've not had one client situation yet turn into an FCC for the $75. We've just refunded the $75 as well. But the Cruise with Confidence it's written to protect your $75 in a certificate, but because of the relationship with Carlos and LCC, we'll just refund the whole amount back. So let's say you make an investment, the announcements come out at the end of the month, you don't like them, it just doesn't sit well with you, it's not what you expected for your vacation, go ahead and cancel, and we'll give you your money back. Or you could always do the lift and shift, and that would actually lock in your price, lock in your promotions that you locked in now for the same cruise next year, and hopefully then by that time next year, we don't have any of these things to worry about anymore.
Well, Lionel, you're looking at someone that exactly thing happened. We've done 3 Azamara cruises. Our last cruise, we booked a cruise back-to-back from Amsterdam to Lisbon, then Lisbon to Barcelona. And someone we met on the cruise recommended Christopher with luxury. So we went through Christopher, and we had a confrontation with that date. And probably almost a year ago, we canceled.
Oh, it wasn't that long ago.
Well,
no, it was after COVID.
It was after COVID we canceled, and
we were charged $150 each because they were 2 back-to-back.
Right.
I lost my brother to COVID, so I just told my husband, I said, I don't want to book any cruises for a while until there's a vaccine, until we know for sure this is handled.
Sure.
So that's why we canceled, but we ended up forfeiting $300.
Got it. Well, Joe, and I'm assuming it's Mrs. Bonanno, we don't want you to lose the $300. I can make it up to you. I mean, everything, listen, what I love about Azamara, I came from the Royal Caribbean family, and at Royal Caribbean International and some of the big brands, everything has to fit in a box. At Azamara, nothing fits in a box. Everything's gray because we're small. My sales team is 9 people. The sales team for Royal Caribbean is over 100. So we make things happen for our partners and our guests. We know that if you're going to entrust your dollars with us, we're going to take care of you. So if you're ready to go, whenever it is that you're ready to go, let Chris know. They'll reach out to me, and I'll make you out.
Actually, Joe, I believe you're being instructed by Derek. Derek is reaching out to you.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, and so reach out then to Derek whenever it is that you're ready to plan your next trip, and I'll make you whole on that trip. So just let him know. We can make that right.
Yeah, Lionel, we've done 3 cruises, and we loved everyone. And Azamara it's
great.
And unfortunately, I don't want to go on a cruise wearing a mask. And we had such great experience. And so that's kind of.
I would say, Joe, in your case, this is a time where everyone feels differently and has different things going on, and for different reasons. You know, you, like you mentioned, you lost your relative. That's just awful to hear. So this has impacted everyone differently, and everyone has different feelings. So when you're ready, what I can assure you is that there will continue to be incentives and offers. If you've had a chance to connect with Luxury Cruise Connections, you know that they know how to negotiate and strong arm people like Katie and myself to make sure that they have the best deals in the marketplace for their clients. So book when you're ready. Don't feel obligated to do it now just because the offer seems really good. Book when you're ready. And for those of you on the call, if you're ready, then you book too. But if you're not, it's okay. It's tough. I'll give you an example. This is just a personal story. We have a trip planned leaving tomorrow to Vegas, and the group was supposed to be 14 of us. We were scheduled to go to Costa Rica. Everyone was going to Costa Rica because they had paid and they were going regardless of COVID. Sadly, COVID kind of changed the plans, and now Costa Rica doesn't want to let Americans into their country. Well, guess what? We decided, let's reschedule. We're going to go to Vegas. Well, half the group said they don't want to fly. They don't feel comfortable flying. Well, just a day ago, they were going to fly to Costa Rica. But now they get a chance to back out. They're like, I don't want to fly. And you know what? I can't get mad, because at the end of the day, it's everyone's right to protect their health and their safety and how they feel. So by all means, I know that this is a really attractive offer. There's a reason for it. You know, we want to make it appealing, but I promise you, and I'm sure Carlos and the team will second this, they will always have appealing offers when you're ready. And if you're not sure, whenever that time comes, just reach out to them. I'm sure Derek will reach out to me, and I'll even give you a heads up on when the next best offer will come around so that you book and still take advantage of all the great things. And keep in mind, we also have our best price guarantee. So we're always going to honor the best rate whenever we need to.
And that's a really good point, Lionel. Thank you for bringing that up, and Joe, thank you for bringing that up. You know, the reality is, the whole concept behind the Cruise with Confidence program and the relationship that we have is we want to make sure that if you do want to take advantage of all this right now, then you have full flexibility to change your mind. And if something didn't necessarily go right, you know, as Lionel said, I'm happy that you were able to bring that up, and we want to make sure we make it right. That's at the end of the day what you'll find with us, and why we love doing business with Azamara so much, is because we both feel the same way about making our clients happy and making sure that everything goes fine. And we want to make sure that you feel confident that you have the flexibility to make decisions now and change your mind later, without really, you know, without putting any of your money at risk. So you're hearing it straight from Lionel. We'll make sure we make it work, and Derek, I'm sure, is going to make sure you're happy. He does an incredible job. Great hands.
We're really happy working with Derek.
Great.
Excellent.
Carlos, there's a really neat question there.
Yeah, when do you believe Azamara Cruises will start again?
So I guess this call is being recorded, so I have to be careful. But I have my belief, but I can tell you that we're expected to start cruising November 1st. But my belief is that we're not going to be cruising November 1st. So I think it's more likely into next year that Azamara will begin cruising. I do believe that some vessels within the Royal Caribbean Group will be cruising November 1st, as currently stated. But I do not believe Azamara will be cruising November 1st. I wish we were, but the destinations that we would be cruising in November are still destinations that are closed to tourists, especially American tourists. And over 70% of our vessels, of our customer base and our vessels, are filled with Americans. So I know that's not the answer you wanted to hear, Mary, but I don't have a date. If I knew the date, I probably would tell you, since Katie's off the phone, but I don't know the date. But I do believe that it's sometime next year, early next year. I don't believe it'll be in 2020.
And so if anybody in this call happens to have a reservation for November or December, hold your horses, don't make any changes, don't do anything, because if that is the case, then you will be eligible for 125% future cruise credit, which is a great deal. So, yeah. So that's a really good question.
Also, I have another question for Lionel.
Okay.
Yes, please.
from a guest. Hey, Lionel, first of all, impressive beard.
Thanks.
I can see you've been staying in during the pandemic. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a guest who has a cruise. And they booked it with the FCC. Should that cruise be interrupted, will they still get the offer of canceling and getting 100% or another 125%? What happens with an FCC-based reservation that might be canceled?
So those, as far as it's my understanding, that those that are impacted, if they had an FCC booking and they rebooked, and that now rebooked voyage is also suspended, then they get to take advantage of the same benefits as somebody who booked it prior to applying an FCC. The value of the cruise will be the value of the cruise. I'm actually currently in a very unique situation. I'm trying to figure out the answer if the credit is going to be worth the first cruise or the second cruise. So I'm fighting on the behalf of the client to make sure that it's on the credit of the first cruise, because the credit of the second cruise would be less since they already applied the FCC. So we're trying to get the credit of the first cruise reissued as an FCC to be reapplied on a future date.
By the way, take a look. I've got my Azamara shirt for you.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I should have worn my Azamara shirt. Instead, I did the hula girls here.
Well, we know where your mind's at. Thank you.
Carlos, I got a question from one of my clients.
Good, Jazz.
Hey, what's up, Lionel? How are you, buddy?
Hey, great.
I see the name Lionel G. Is that your stage name or is that your actual name? Huh?
Lionel Garcia and Azamara wouldn't fit in the name there.
So one of my clients is asking if they book directly with Azamara, can they still transfer their booking to us at Luxury Cruise Connections?
Yes, most definitely. If they make a deposit or an investment for a voyage with Azamara directly, they would have 60 days from the date they made that booking to transfer it over to Luxury Cruise Connection.
That's a good question. Thank you, Jazz.
Yeah. Thanks, Jazz.
Great question. Great question. And I know that we did say that our event was going to last a little bit over an hour. We want you to know that we are not going anywhere. We're not rushing anybody. But we do understand that some people had some previous commitments. So if you, for whatever reason, need to jump off, it's okay. And we will be sending this event, the recording of this event to all of you right after, together with the up to $500 email, so that you know that you can use it until when you can use it. And we're always here available for you. Any questions you might have, even if you think of anything that you didn't think of during this event and you want to ask, feel free to do so. I love having an opportunity to chat with our clients. We are very, very, very much about our clients and our relationships. So I am typing my email in the chat box right now. So just in case, if any of you ever has a question to me or anything, please feel free to share that and to email me directly, and I'll obviously always get back to everybody. Here it is. And is there any other questions? Anything else that we can answer for you all? Anything else that you want to know? Janet French, how are you? Andrea. Helen, how you guys doing? Anybody has anything else you want to share with us? Please do.
Thanks for all the information, and I'm looking forward to next year. And everybody be well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
John.
you for coming. Thank you for attending. Thank you for attending. Michael, how are you today? Michael Seyfert, how are you? How you doing, my friend? Are we taking good care of you so far? Gotta unmute yourself.
When we were on Azamara in the past, we noticed that they were the ships from RCCL. Is that right? Beautiful ships.
So the history of the Azamara vessels, these three ships belong to a cruise company called Renaissance.
Right.
RCCL is a Royal Caribbean Cruises Limited. But Renaissance had 8 identical vessels created. 4 of those vessels currently are owned and operated by a cruise line you may know as Oceania. 3 of them are owned by Royal Caribbean Group and operated under a cruise brand called Azamara, which is us. Yeah. And 1 is owned by Carnival Corp under a cruise brand you might know as Princess. So those are the 8 ships. They are identical. They're octuplets, but each company has renovated and done them up on their own with their own style and uniqueness. So one of the coolest things I think we've done is that we've eliminated the casino. That's one big thing. And the other thing that we did is we added a category called the Club Spa Suite. And that's the one that was one of the ones I pictured with the hot tub that's glass enclosed out on the veranda. So that is that's what makes our 3 vessels unique. But in the history, they are the R6, the R7, and the R8. So if you did a little quick Wikipedia search, you will find that the Journey was the 6, the Quest was the 7, and the Pursuit was the 8.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome, David.
We took the Renaissance cruise from Istanbul to Athens years past, and it was absolutely fabulous. Small ship.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of guests who have cruised with Renaissance love Azamara because it reminds them of those. So, yeah. Horatio, I've been wanting to ask you, I love your background and the red wall and those black frames. That looks so cool. I don't know what the pictures are of, but they it looks nice.
South Atlantic.
Oh, wonderful. Did you take those photos?
Oh, yes. Yeah, sailing.
Oh, nice, nice. We have, let's see here. Are you ships the original ones? On the promotion, what category do you book to get the spa suite? Oh, John, I love that question. Since we only have 2 spa suites, that is not one that you can book under the double upgrade promotion. So you're going to have to do the only way you get the promotion is you have to pay for a veranda and you'll go in a Club Continent. The Club Continents are gorgeous as well, but like I said, my favorite by far is the spa suite. I call it the sexy suite, which might be politically incorrect, but it's very exclusive and it is really a fantastic accommodation. We only have 2 of them and they have their own private entrance and separate hallway and a private entrance into the spa. So I've been told that, okay, good. Carlos, you're good.
We're good.
All right, wonderful. Wonderful. Any other questions for me or the team at Luxury Cruise Connection?
We, I don't know if you guys noticed, but we did have our building alarm just go off a second ago. It was very, very loud. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I had to, no? Okay, good. We had to mute ourselves and then gladly it stopped. But I apologize for that. We had to kind of stay quiet for a few seconds. We're so appreciative of all of you being here with us today. And we really, really enjoy having an opportunity to share with all of you just a little bit of time in the week to talk about travel, get inspired, and dream about, our next cruise vacation. And I can tell you this, I can do this for as long as I can stay awake. And so I want to make sure that you all know that if you have any more questions, please feel free to ask. And we do want to be very responsible with Lionel's time because he does, I guess, is going to get in trouble if he doesn't get back to work anytime soon.
Well, also just to keep things in reality, my son literally just banged on my door and I have it locked because they're used to just storming in. So he banged on my door and he's like, "Daddy, Daddy." And I didn't address him because I was talking to all of you. And then he just stormed off going, "Ah." So I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for not working. I'm going to get in trouble for my son for not addressing him. But no, this is truly, Carlos, like you, I love this. I've had the opportunity to get to do this for the majority of my life, at least my adult life. And I don't know anything else that I would rather be doing than talking travel It breaks my heart that our ships are currently docked. Believe it or not, those 3 ships in Glasgow are currently being operated by 43 crew members. They are fantastic people, but it's a sad state when that's where our babies are, our boutique hotels are. But I am confident, as is the rest of our team, that we will be back in the water. We are confident that it's going to be sometime into the early 2021. And we're confident that cruising will be safe and healthy and a very great way to experience the world. I've imparted these words with a lot of my customers, and my customers are travel agents. We're humans, and as humans, we've been created to connect and be in community. And one of the things that we love about travel, even though we may not realize it, is the fact that we get to connect with other people. Be it at a restaurant, or be it at a venue, or be it at a hotel, or be it at a show. And that's what cruising and or vacationing gets to provide. And that's what LCC gets to deliver for all of you and make these magical memories for all of you. So I am convinced that because it is in our DNA to have to be out and have to connect and have to break from this, what I'm calling physical distancing, because social distancing can't stop. We're here being social now, but this physical distancing, it will end because we have to see each other again. We have to connect again. We have to be able to hug. My family's Cuban. I don't just shake hands. I give a kiss on the cheek and I give a hug. That's just how we are. So I know many of you have similar ways to say hello. On Azamara, we do the fist bump. But that is what I'm going to do, and I'm confident that we'll get back to that point again. And so I look forward to that date. So thank you for the time, Carlos, and all of you for listening. And I look forward to seeing you guys in person soon.
I do want to share something. I was as we were putting together some of these packages for pre or post in Italy, in one of the Azamara. What are the country intensive itineraries? I was speaking with our land operator over there in Italy, and he was saying that there's another cruise line. I'm not gonna name names, but there's another cruise line that did actually sail recently out of from Italy with only Italian guests and only visiting Italian ports, and they did like a little bit of a trial run in the entire cruise line industry with extensive testing and little bubble shore excursions, and he was saying that what the media has shared after that itinerary went off in Italy, and this was just a conversation I had just a couple hours ago. He's saying that all of a sudden this one type of travel, which is cruising, that everybody was so afraid of just a few months ago, is now considered to be the safest place to be on earth for Italians right now, because they just saw how safe it was and how clean and how really everything was so perfect when people went on that ship and came back. And as they were interviewing people that went and came back on that first itinerary, and the media over there in Italy, everybody was so happy and so amazed and so just stunned with how safe they felt being on board a ship. And everything turned around immediately for Italians right now. And I have a feeling that we're going to see something very similar happening for Americans once we see the first ship sailing and realize that it is safe and that things are okay. So I can't wait for that day. I can't wait for the day that we can get back on board those ships and start exploring the world again. With Azamara, it's going to be an incredible experience. And we look forward to being there for you guys, for all of you that are here and all of our guests, to make sure we plan every detail of it and just be there for you for every step of the way. So with that, I'm going to kind of let Lionel go. And Lionel, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you all.
And hope to see you all soon on our next virtual Zoom event. We have some exciting things happening soon. And we're going to continue to be sent to send those invitations, and feel free to let us know what you think of this. Give us feedback. We'd love to hear feedback, and look forward to seeing you again very, very soon. You'll have a great rest of the evening, great afternoon, and stay safe out there, guys. Thank you.
Lionel.